I was in and out of the hospital and they kept telling me I was fine, but I knew that I wasn't. I was experiencing chronic pelvic pain, and eventually they found an ovarian cyst. I kept being told that ovarian cysts are normal. They told me that I was fine, everything was normal, and that I could just go back to work, even though I still was experiencing this chronic pain. So I did. I went back to work, and then I ended up right back in the hospital again. And this time, the ovarian cyst had grown significantly. I was told that I needed a specialist that could take a look at this and eventually do surgery. So I did, and she decided to do a deep dive. She ran a full ultrasound, and we did lots of lab work. I will never forget the day that she called me. She was on the phone and said to me, "Virginia, I have everything that I need to know. You have endometriosis, and we need to get you into surgery stat." And I remember hearing that word endometriosis, and I was like, I have heard this word before. I think it has something to do with painful periods. I don't know, but I'm glad she's going to help me. So I had an excision surgery performed. And at that time, after surgery, I began to learn all kinds of things about endometriosis. I started learning that endometriosis isn't random, that there are many root drivers. And one of the biggest ones is hormone imbalance. And I learned that estrogen dominance was playing a huge role in what was happening in my body. And even after surgery, my hormones still weren't balanced. And then I also learned that there was no cure for endometriosis. There was potential for it to come back. That absolutely terrified me because I never wanted to go through that ever again. So I began to realize that nobody was going to understand my body and care about my body the way that I did, and that I needed to be willing to learn exactly what it was that was going to keep my endometriosis in remission as much as possible. I had to learn to understand it all myself. That's what body literacy is. It's learning your patterns, understanding what's driving your symptoms, and figuring out what actually helps you to heal. And over time, I started to focus on my hormones and learn as much about endometriosis as I possibly could. I started to focus on supporting my hormones through various things, one of which is supporting your hormones through your gut health and supporting your gut microbiome, and many other various ways that you can support your hormones. You support your hormones by supporting your body and figuring out what actually helps your body heal. And now, 1 year later, my hormones are balanced. And at the age of 42, I'm still ovulating. And I've been able to successfully put my endometriosis in remission. And that's why I care so much about this, because what you're told is normal isn't always the full story. Your body is always giving you information. You just have to learn how to read it.